Hey, hi, this is Akhilesh this side, and today we are going to talk about why most sales teams fail at CRM and how it's costing you your revenue. So let's understand 70% of CRM implementations fail, not because the software doesn't work, not because the team isn't capable, not because the budget was not there, because leadership treated CRM like a software purchase instead of business transformation. I've seen this pattern across EdTech companies, SaaS, school networks, and even B2C companies. A leadership team buys Zoho or HubSpot or Salesforce. They get everyone trained. They launch it with enthusiasm, and 6 months later, the team is back on WhatsApp and Excel. The CRM is an open tab, that's it, which no one clicks. And somewhere in that organization, revenue is leaking. Leads are falling through, deals are dying in silence, and nobody knows because there was no visibility. In this video, I'm going to break down the 5 specific reasons CRM implementations fail and what a business that gets it right looks like. If you're a founder or a sales leader, this video is for you, not your team, only you. Because every single failure pattern I'm about to describe starts at the top, the 70% problem. Let's start with the number. 70% CRM implementations fail to meet their original objectives. That's not a statistic I'm making up. It has been studied and reported consistently across the industry for over a decade. And yet, every year, thousands of Indian businesses buy CRM licenses hoping this time it will be different. The ones that succeed have one thing in common: leadership didn't buy the tool, leadership owned the system. The CRM was not an IT project, it was not an ops project, it was a revenue project owned by the person responsible for the revenue. When I have built CRM systems that actually worked, the common thread was never the tool. It was always the leader who was willing to redesign how the business worked around the system. That's a mindset shift. It starts before you open Zoho for the first time. The failure pattern. The failure pattern 1. The wrong pipeline stages. Your pipeline stages mean nothing to your team. I covered this in the last video, but I want to go deeper on the business consequences here. When I walk into a company and see a pipeline with stages like value proposition and perception analysis, I know immediately that this CRM has not been customized for the business. It's running on default settings. And here's what the default settings cost you. Your team doesn't update the CRM because the stages don't reflect the reality. A counselor or a salesperson doesn't know whether need analysis means they have spoken to the parent or just received an application or spoken to the point of contact who will be responsible for sales. So they guess or they skip the update altogether. Now your pipeline data is wrong, your forecast is wrong, you are making wrong hiring decisions and marketing spend based on the data that doesn't reflect reality. I have seen companies miss quarterly targets and blame the market when the real problem was a pipeline that nobody trusted. The fix is 30 minutes of work. Sit with your team. Ask them what actually happens between the first contact and the close deal. What are the real milestones? Build your stages from that conversation. When your team recognizes their own process in the CRM, they use it. When they use it, the data is right. And when the data is right, your decisions are right. That's how the pipeline becomes a competitive advantage. The failure pattern 2. No real time adoption. Failure pattern 2 is about your team updates the CRM after the fact, not in real time. This is the most common failure problem I see, and it's the hardest to fix because it's a behavioral problem, not a technology problem. Here how it plays out. The team uses WhatsApp calls, personal notes to track their leads during the day. And at the end of the week, or worse, or at the end of the month, they batch the update in the CRM to keep the management happy. The result: your CRM shows you a picture of where your pipeline was last Friday, not where it is right now. That's not a visibility tool, that's a reporting tool. And there is a massive difference. I have managed teams where I could tell within 48 hours that someone wasn't updating their pipeline in real time. because their data felt stale. Deals that I knew were progressing weren't moving in the system. The fix is not threatening people with consequences. The fix is making CRM easier to use than WhatsApp for tracking a lead. That means mobile access. Every rep should be updating their deals from their phone, not a desktop. It means simple stage names that take 2 seconds to update. It means building automation so that the updates trigger the next action automatically. So the rep has a reason to update because something useful happens when they do. We will cover that automation in the next video. But the mindset shift here is important. Real time CRM adoption is the product design problem. If your team isn't using it, the system isn't convenient enough. Fix the system, not the team. Now, failure pattern 3. No automation. You brought automation, never built it. Failure pattern. So what, let's understand this. Every CRM comes with automation capabilities. Zoho has workflows. HubSpot has sequences. Salesforce has flows. Most companies pay for these features and never use them. Here's what that costs you. Every time a lead fills a form and doesn't get an immediate response, you lose them. Research consistently shows that the probability of converting a lead drops by over 80% if you don't respond within the first 5 minutes. 5 minutes, not 5 hours, just 5 minutes. No human team can respond to every lead within 5 minutes around the clock, but an automated workflow can. I have built automation flows that send a personalized acknowledgement email the moment a lead submits a form, assigns the lead to the right rep based on the course or the product they are inquired for, set a follow up task due within 2 hours, and send up a reminder if that task isn't completed. All of that happens without a single person doing anything manually. The system runs it. The revenue impact of that one automation alone at an EdTech company or a SaaS company I worked with was measurable within the first month. Leads that previously went cold because nobody followed up fast enough were now being contacting within minutes. That's what automation does. It removes the human lag from your revenue process, and it's sitting inside your CRM right now, unused. In the next video, I'm going to build this exact automation live on screen so that you can replicate it on your Zoho account. Now, the next one, failure patterns, which you have to look at because there is no accountability. That's your failure pattern 4. Nobody is accountable for pipeline hygiene. Pipeline hygiene means your CRM data is accurate, up to date, and trustworthy at all times. The most organizations have no person responsible for this. Everyone is responsible, which means no one is responsible. The consequence is what I call pipeline rot. Deals that died 3 months ago are still sitting in your pipeline at 75% probability. They are inflating your forecast. They are making your numbers look better than they are. And they are hiding the real problem that your conversion rate is lower than you think. I have walked into pipeline reviews where the total pipeline value was 5 crores. But when the data was cleaned up, removing dead deals, updating the sales stages, the real pipeline was only about 1.8 CR. That's a business problem, not a CRM problem. The fix is a weekly pipeline review ritual, not a meeting where the people talk about their feelings about their deals, a structured 20-minute process where every deal that hasn't moved in last 7 days gets challenged. Why it hasn't moved, what needs to happen to move it, or does it need to be marked as close lost so that we stop lying to ourselves? This review, done consistently, is one of the highest leverage activities a sales or admission leader can do. It keeps your forecast honest, keeps your team accountable, it- and it surfaces the problems early when they still can be fixed. The pipeline review is a leadership work. It cannot be delegated to an ops person. It has to be owned by a person responsible for the revenue. Now, the last problem which we can look at, no revenue connection. So, it's a failure pattern that disconnected from revenue targets. Your CRM is disconnected from your revenue targets, and this is what you need to understand. This is the most senior level failure on the list, and it is the one that surprises people the most when it is pointed out. Most companies set revenue targets in one place, the spreadsheet or a finance model, and they track the pipeline in another place, the CRM. And these two systems never talk to each other. So the leadership team is looking at a revenue target of 2 crore this month, and the sales team is managing a pipeline in Zoho or HubSpot or wherever it is. But nobody has done the maths to connect them. How many deals need to be in the pipeline to hit a at each stage to hit a revenue of 2 CR. Given your conversion rates at each stage, how many applications you need to receive, how many offers you need to be extended, and how many confirmations you need to get in order to reach that revenue. When you connect your pipeline to your revenue targets working backwards from the number, the CRM stops being a tracking tool and becomes your planning tool. I have used this approach to build monthly operating plans for teams. We knew at the start of each month that how many leads we needed at each stage to hit the target, and we knew within the first week whether we were on track or not because the pipeline told us. This is business intelligence, and it starts with connecting your CRM to your numbers. Most companies never do this. The ones that do have a significant competitive advantage because they make decisions based on data, not intuition. The fix. So, what does a CRM actually that works actually look like? It's not a tool. Zoho, HubSpot, Salesforce, they all work. The tool is not the variable. A CRM works the CRM that works is a revenue operating system built intentionally, owned by the leadership, used in real time by the team, connected to revenue targets, and reviewed weekly for hygiene. When I build this correctly, I have done it across multiple organizations and teams, and the results are not incremental, they are transformational. Conversion rates compound because nothing falls through the cracks. Forecasts become reliable because the data is clean. Teams become more accountable because the pipeline creates visibility, and leadership makes better decisions because the data they are looking at is actually reflecting the reality. That's not a technology outcome, that's a leadership outcome. The technology just makes it visible. Let me leave you with one question. If I open the CRM right now, would it show me an accurate picture of your revenue for this month? Would your pipeline stages reflect how your business actually works? Would every deal be up to date? If the answer is no, you know what needs to be fixed. In the next video, I am going to show you exactly how to build that automation that fixes pattern 3, the one about lead response time. I'll build a workflow live in Zoho CRM from scratch. You will be able to replicate it in your own account under 30 minutes. Okay, subscribe to FunnelWallah so you don't miss. And if this video describes your organization, drop a comment below. Tell me which failure pattern hit the closest to home. I read every comment. If you're a founder or a business leader who wants to talk about building this system in your organization, my contact is in the description. See you in the next one. Thank you.